Hi everybody, just want to welcome you to the class. My name is Kyle Smith. I'm going to be doing A&P 1 for all of you. Uh, did A&P 2 kind of like this last semester, obviously when everything went this way. This is the first shot at really doing this fully online. Just trying to show you the Moodle page today, let you do this little intro video here. The plan is on Tuesday to take the people that can and walk them through everything and kind of talk about what I'm expecting and what I'm planning on doing on this one. Just to kind of show you on the Moodle page here, I've tried to put everything in a pretty orderly fashion. The plan is to have everything, for the most part, other than question and answer stuff, be in an asynchronous type of model where I am going to be kind of posting lecture videos and they'll be organized in each particular area. The plan is also to give everybody a chance to be able to ask questions and do some live stuff as well. So I'm planning on doing probably once or twice a week as kind of a Zoom, not required at all, but for anybody who wants to attend them, if we can find a couple of times that work for most people, we can do that. So syllabus you're going to see is in a nice little tab display right here. It is going to have all my contact information. Like I said, plan on having weekly Zoom things here. As I've heard about it more, it sounds like office hours in person are not going to be an option unless we were to meet in the lab or something else like that, and with it being fully online. In reality, if we need to talk specifically with me, it's really simple to set up a real quick Zoom meeting, just one-on-one, where we can talk face-to-face. I have access to any files on computer, and we can screen share stuff back and forth if need be. Again, email is probably the quickest way to do that. I'll let you work through a lot of other stuff here. I'll walk through some of this stuff in another class here. But you can kind of see this explains what the course is and kind of what my objectives are. I do want to talk real quick about the textbook. People have been asking on this one in terms of what you need for this semester. Ideally, with anatomy and physiology, I feel like having a textbook is a good thing. But what you really need to have the coursework is really an A&P textbook here of this one, ideally the integrative 3rd edition. One of the assignments that we are going to be doing as part of your work is going to be doing some assignments on their online version. What this really means is you could have a different textbook if you decide to buy a different one, if you want to find a cheap hardcover textbook, but you are going to need access to the Connect page. They've kind of played around with this a bunch of different times. Now it's basically you have to buy Connect Access and you get the ebook with it. I believe this is about $140. I think it's for 2 years. It's somewhere around that. You can get a loose leaf add-on to that if you want to. I believe it's another $40. It's up to you on that one, what you want to do, but we really need the lecture book and the Connect Access. With the fact that we're being fully online, I don't really have you needing a lab book for this semester. Again, if situation changes and there's a chance to do some of this in person a little bit more in A&P 2, we probably will need that lab book. But for this semester, we're mainly going to be doing videos, and there's some lab simulations and some questions I'm going to have you answering for these different assignments. Speaking of assignments, this is what everything's going to be broken down to. Exams, you're going to have 4 exams. Switching stuff over to kind of percentages because of the online stuff, it's a little bit easier for me. So 4 exams that end up being 10% of your grade. Number of questions on these ones. Generally, I'm going to try to build them to take about an hour and a half is going to be the time limit. Last semester with A&P 2 being online for the second half there, I was doing probably about 45 to 50 something multiple choice questions. There was 3 short answer type of essay questions, and then probably 5 or 6, maybe more like 10 anatomy based questions that we're going to have multiple parts in them. When I'm doing these ones, they are going to be on, obviously with being online, these are going to be on Moodle. The plan is on these ones to have it will be sequential. What that means is it's going to go through in order. You're not going to be able to skip back and forth. The other thing is it's going to be randomized for everybody. on these ones in terms of which questions you get when you get them, as well as the options A, B, C, and D in each question. So that is what we're looking at here on those ones. I will probably do some also, because with the lab being not in person, I'm gonna try to assess you a little bit more often on this one. So we're gonna do weekly anatomy quizzes. The number of these ones, it's really gonna depend on the chapters. It's probably about one per chapter. So all said and done, it's not gonna be 15 of these, but probably more like 10 of them. But overall, this will encompass 20% of your grade. All the online stuff we do for lecture and labs and the simulated lab stuff on the Connect website, that will be another 20% of your grade. All the lecture videos that I'm doing, they are interactive ones here. So generally in each of these, it's going to be probably somewhere between 1 and 3 questions through these little 15 to 20 minute. Every once in a while I go a little bit longer than that, but I try to keep them a little bit bite-sized. But there'll be a couple questions that will stop and ask you a question during that. All those and all the lectures together is going to be 10% of your grade. These will be pass-fail. Just do them and you'll get the points. A lot of the McGraw-Hill Connect stuff as well is pass-fail. There's case studies that you'll see on the page here. You're going to pick 2 of them and answer those, turn them in digitally to me. Those are going to be 2.5% each, so 5% for that one. And again, pretty pass-fail on those ones as well. If you answer them and try to the best of your abilities, you're generally going to get the full points on those ones. The group work thing is something I'm trying here. I haven't decided the format yet. I might figure out if I can have you guys do a little wikis on the Moodle page here. But what I was hoping to have you guys do is make your own little study sheets or study guides mainly for anatomy, but for some of the exam stuff there. And then my thought was, since it is online, that would be something I would allow you to use on the exams and ask that you use only that. But again, you guys are going to be able to work in groups together to make one of these digitally, and then you could use what's on there on your exams. So I'm hoping that's something that'll be a little bit different than everybody trying to look everything up on their phones or other stuff like that. Again, that's part of the reason for the time limit and for the sequential stuff like that. I may actually also even do banks of questions on certain areas where not everybody gets the exact same questions as everybody else. So it is going to be a little bit different for each person in terms of what they see and how they see the exam. Grading scale is pretty standard. It's right here. You can look at that one. Kind of honesty policy. It's a Plattsburgh one there. Again, I'm planning on letting you guys use something on these exams and quizzes. I'm asking that you please adhere to just using that. I mean, I know it's a little bit harder with all this being online, and I know this is not what anybody was hoping for. Me neither. I don't like doing it as much this way, but it's the one thing that we thought was the safest way for the size of this class, and the fact that with labs being that full, they were saying only 8 people per lab, and in all honesty, we didn't have enough time or space in that lab to try to do everything here. And it's not like a lot of other labs where you might be able to do certain things digitally or not. We can do most of what we need to digitally in this lab. Again, it's not as good or not as hands-on, but it's still a close experience to what we can try to give in person. Hopefully we'll get through this and maybe for next semester. If not next semester, I'm hoping next year we get to start going back to normal on this stuff in terms of how we teach this. But I'm doing, like I said, what I can to make this the best learning experience I can on this one. In terms of response on stuff here, ideally my plan is any emails I receive to be able to respond to them within 24 hours. As you've already noticed, generally, those of you who email me already, I'm usually going to respond a little bit quicker than that even. Usually within an hour or a couple hours if I receive it at a reasonable time of day. I mean, if it's like 11:30 at night, there's a chance I'm in bed and I won't see it until morning. Same thing on the weekends. If we're out hiking or doing a camping or something else like that, I'll try to give you a heads up if I'm not going to be around on the weekend or not where I have internet. But generally, within 24 hours, I should be able to get back to you, usually quicker. Again, I know this is not what we signed up for, but again, I'm going to try to give you some, as much as I can, some live Zoom opportunities where we can talk and discuss this stuff and not just have to do everything digitally. You get to see me a little bit. Granted, you'll see a ton of me because I'm on each of the videos, but you get the idea. Other than that, there's a digital version of this right here. So the only other thing I really want to show you, a few things I want to show you here. This is the schedule, kind of what we're trying to do, what particular week. So far, I have all the videos taped for up to here. These ones I still need to put onto the computer. I'm already taping these ones as well. So I'm a few weeks out in front of you here. At least most of the stuff for the first test is already taped and posted. I've been working through this stuff for the last couple of months here, along with my other class I'm teaching. So trying to get this prepped and ready and out front for you here. So this is the schedule. You can kind of see what we're doing here and what's going to be on each test. You can go through and look at that stuff at your own leisure. Ideally what we'll do on this one is I'll walk people through this one on Tuesday. This is the Connect website. Ideally, if you click on this, it should take you to here. You're then going to have to go to Connect, and it's going to ask you, for me, I already have a sign on here, so it goes to my sign on stuff. It's going to ask you if you have, when you guys go to it, it's going to ask you, do you have a code? Are you wanting to pay for this? Do you want to do the ebook? Other stuff like that. But this is what we're going to have going on each week. I have it subdivided into folders on this stuff right now. You're going to see what I have visible to you, but these are already in there with the dates, so you can see here. Here is a lecture kind of questions. These are multiple choice questions that you're going to go through and answer. Once it says you're complete, full points on this part. Here's some questions you're going to answer for kind of what would be the lab material on that first one. And then on these certain ones here, this one's just giving me an intro to the simulations, because you'll see on some of these, because we can't do this in person, they do have some lab simulations where you click on different parts and it's kind of like doing the lab. So you can see on each of these weeks there's going to be certain assignments that you have to do, some more weeks than others. And again, all this together is going to end up being 20% of your grade. So outside of that, I do have all the videos, like I said, are going to be on these interactive video things here. If you go to this is my YouTube page. It has all of my videos for this class. It's kind of subdivided into watch lists that I've taped so far, as well as for A&P2, my histology course, as well as some of the ones I'm taping for my advanced physiology course that I'm teaching this fall. This area right here is just for when we get to histology. These are ways to actually do digital slides, because we don't have access to the lab and the microscopes. I'll show you that stuff as we get to it. But then you can see on a week-by-week basis, I'm going to have certain stuff up and on here. So usually I'd have review sheets and stuff like that. What I've been doing on these ones is doing a nice little tab display. When I break down my PowerPoints, I usually break them down into key questions. This is kind of going to those sub-ideas of each of these key questions on each part here. So it's kind of telling you what we're going to be looking at, what the different parts of this are. Outside of that, my interactive videos here, you can see same type of things here. Some of these key questions, you can see there is a little video that's loading up right here. This one's one that I pulled that I taped a long time ago because I don't look like that anymore. That was probably, what was that, 2012? So that one's a little bit older one here. But you can see if you click on this, it is a YouTube video. You can see there's a couple of dots here where it's going to ask you a few questions on each of these. And that is those interactive videos. And you can kind of see that on each of these there is multiple kind of parts of each of these. So other than that, I do have it set up where there is going to be just the PowerPoint that's downloadable right here. For the most part, it's the same PowerPoints that are in these interactive video lectures here. But this is one if you wanted to print this out and kind of take notes as you go through it. You can see I have the key questions for week 2 all up here, as well as the videos for all of week 2. And here's all the PowerPoint shows that are with that one. I am working on this one right now to get the interactive videos, and the key questions that we're going to be doing. I did also put some review sheets on here. And you can see as we work our way down through these, it's kind of the same format on each of these ones, kind of telling you which weeks we should be working through this stuff. As I have the stuff taped, I will be adding this in here. I'm generally going to try to stay a week or two ahead of you and get these things out there in front of this, so you'll have plenty of time to look at this stuff before we get through all of it. As you can see down here at the bottom, here is the case studies. I'm probably going to hide this from you guys here because this is stuff I'm going to kind of build into different parts as we go. There is some anatomy kind of cadaver muscle PowerPoints for later on. Some kind of key questions, and then this is something, don't worry about it. So that's just kind of showing you the overall Moodle page. I just wanted to kind of introduce that. Outside of that, like I said, on Tuesday at 11 o'clock is my plan to kind of go live with everybody, let you ask questions either in chat or in person. At least get a chance to see maybe some of your faces on this stuff here. We'll turn the video on or not. I apologize that probably this semester I'm probably not going to be as good at learning names because I'm not going to see every week in lab or anything else like that. But this is just, like I said, just something to get you started here. We'll hopefully be talking to most of you on Tuesday. For those of you who can't make it Tuesday, this is kind of that little intro, again, shortened up a little bit. If any of you that can't make Tuesdays or any of the lives that we do here pretty early on, let me know. I can kind of go through stuff with you as kind of a private Zoomer, get a group of people together and walk you through some of the stuff that I'm going to be walking through on Tuesday. All right. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to getting to be teaching again here.